imagine the
two-dimensional
aliens,
ink.
Imagine that the aliens already look rad and they're covering their cool armor with like fleshy, tissuey, like marshmallowy human skin. Like,
so they're already here.
Dream art.
You say so they're already here?
They're here. They're everywhere then. Like, all right, Ty, take off the suit.
Ty, have you seen a UFO?
No, man.
Do you want to?
I mean, yeah, why not?
I'd hope so. I was just wondering.
Yeah, I'm just one of those unlucky people that's never seen anything like that.
It'll happen if you want it to.
The first time I saw one
I feel like they're there enough.
Was several years ago, like maybe 7 or 8 years ago. But like I'd seen things when I was a kid, but I could be like, it could have been this or it could have been that. So it wasn't like conclusive, but like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I saw one in broad daylight for a long period of time. So there's no like,
yeah.
I watched this thing for like 45 minutes. It was up in the dirty mitten.
What was it? What it looked like?
The little blip in the sky. I've shared the story before.
Oh, probably.
But like it was just like a blip, and then it didn't like travel like a plane, but it actually like it went from like here to here simultaneously. It wasn't a glare. It wasn't anything reflecting in my windows. I saw it whether my window was up or down. Like I tried to debunk this thing as I was watching it. You know what I mean? Like I'm skeptic. I believe, but at the same time, I'm skeptic. So,
okay.
I mean, I believed before that for sure, but like now it's like, okay, I've seen one. There's something we can't explain going on.
That's cool though.
But I don't
really
feel
awesome.
I don't feel compelled to be afraid of it at all whatsoever. As curious as I am, I'm not afraid whatsoever of it.
Yeah, I'm not afraid, but I've had a few. I mean, I've had a couple handfuls of encounters, to be honest, where they've been, seen some pretty wild things in the sky. But there was a couple of them that actually made me a little afraid, not because of like anything anything more than it just being really close, and then like the real fear of the presence of something unknown, and like just no idea what its will is or anything. Yeah, I mean, one encounter that I'm thinking of in particular, I could probably go on like a 15-minute rant about that one. I don't know if that's appropriate for the Biomech podcast, but we're already on the subject.
Tie it together, man.
All right.
Has anybody else seen any UFOs or anything like that?
Blade, I'm pretty sure Blade told me a story one time about some UFO shit he saw.
Absolutely. I've seen them. I've seen them, and this is a weird one. I've heard them without seeing them. One time I was laying in my room, and I heard this, it didn't sound like a helicopter, but it was just like this sound, and it was above just above my house, and I could hear it, going from across, and then suddenly it was just gone. Like, it just took off, and I was just, what the fuck was that shit? And I went outside and looked around. I mean, there was nothing that could indicate anything to me. I've seen them with other people, at festivals. I've seen them not at festivals, just around here in town. They're definitely they're there.
Yeah, I had one where the fear instance that I had was, so I lived on a lake, and I had a circle of lights coming over top of the lake, and I could explain exactly how my house was and everything. It's what my mind wants to do when I tell the story. But for the most part, I was looking out this back window, about to go to bed, laying in bed, and out my slider door, I see this circle of lights coming over top of the lake. And I first see it from the reflection on the lake, and then I see the actual thing in the sky, and it starts to come over top of, it's coming towards me, and ends up going over top of my house, stops over top of my house, and yeah, I don't know, I'm missing a lot of the story here.
So he's told this story
You're confusing.
before.
You're best to be up with all the camera shit. I just want to explain it to this one. But so basically, a circle of lights came over top of my house. I watched it come over the lake towards me. I went outside thinking okay, cool, I'm gonna see this thing pass over. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I've already seen quite a few UFOs before that. But I'm thinking, dope, this thing's gonna go right over top of me. But what are the fucking chances? Cool, this strange light right over top of me. I lived on Bostwick Lake in Rockford, seen tons of UFOs before that, really strange ones. And yeah, so this one was just a bunch of orange lights in a perfect circle, came over top of my house. And when it came over top of my house, it stopped over my house. And I came, so I'm looking underneath my deck, and I got a sensor light, like that's basically hiding under my deck with this thing above my house. And I look over, and the sensor light turns on me, and I'm the only thing illuminated underneath this thing. And so I ran inside because I was like kind of freaked out, like because I'm just like I'm like tractor beam distance from this thing. But it was yeah, it was happening to me a lot around those times. That's a really summed up story. I just didn't want to get into like the whole 15-minute, like every little bit of sensory information about the whole entire thing, which I usually do. So it like fucks me up not.
For what I seen, mine was I was going down the highway, and I heard that sound just like Blade said, and I look, and all of a sudden I could see in the sky there was just this black triangle, and it was a clear night sky, stars all over, you could see it. And I had a sunroof in my car, and I'm driving down, it's going over the highway, and I look up, and nothing, there was all black, totally black. And then just kept on woo, 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 and went off, and that's what I seen. And it was definitely not from here.
Interesting. That's really cool. So, all right, one other one that I had.
One other one. I knew there were going to be more. I'm looking at him, and he's like chomping at the bit.
Yeah.
See
I'm settling on it. But so I got 4 people. I'm in the middle of a lake on a pontoon boat. It's probably like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all hanging out. We're not tripping. We're not tripping or anything, but we've been smoking some weed. And so it was me and my buddy Dane, and a couple other people. And so I'm watching the sky because I'm just always watching the sky. I've seen UFOs on that lake, and so I'm always watching. But I'm not going to be the one being like, everyone, I'm looking for UFOs all night. Like, I'm just like, we're being cool, hanging out. I'm not going to be like the alien guy. But at the same time, I'm still watching the sky, and just trying to get used to everything that's up there. I end up seeing 2 really bright orbs, just like one, like vertically from each other. So just 2 bright orbs in the sky. I'm watching that there. So after like an hour or 2, I'm like, okay, they're like settled there. I know that's something weird I've been paying attention to. Those aren't planets. I'm pretty sure they're not planets. So I tell my buddy Dane, I'm like, hey, keep an eye on these things. I don't know what they are. I don't even say aliens. I'm like, I don't even know what they are. Just like keep an eye on those things, see if they do anything weird. And so, as time goes by, these things start so you can imagine them like this, and they start moving like this, but they're moving so slowly. And so what's happening is these orange lights are creating a trail as they're kind of like moving in a circle towards each other, and they end up touching each other. And then there's a orange laser disc just floating in the sky. And like at this point, like when they were halfway through, like all 4 of us were watching this thing going, damn, okay, this is really weird. And I'm like, what do you guys think about this? Because I'm seeing UFOs all the time. I'm not going to be like aliens, but I'm like, what does this make you think of? Like, what do you guys think? I'll let you make your own decision. And it always just blow my mind because they'd be, I don't know. That's really weird. And like, I'm like, this is mind blowing. Like, I don't understand.
This is evidence.
I know you guys don't
understand.
Sure. To some people, it just doesn't matter. If they don't understand, they don't care. Like, but Dane thought it was crazy, but the 2 girls we were with they were like, wow, that's pretty crazy, but
cool, nerds.
Kinda. I'm like, this is my focus in the night.
You got any more mushrooms?
Like, you guys can swim home.
Just swim. Just go away. Just go. Let us watch our aliens.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right. So those are some of my stories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, biomech.
We gotta we digress down the alien rabbit hole again. Have you done any alien biomech tattoos lately?
I've done a couple cool alien tattoos. Yeah, I mean most of my biomech tattoos I would consider to be fairly alien.
My